Welcome to Framework Fortune and welcome back Framework Fortune community. I'm your host Ben and we've got our co-host H&H Trader Hal in the house tonight. What's going on, Hal?
Not much, man. Extremely crazy day in the market that I missed. Hopefully everybody made all the money and no one's sitting red today.
Yeah, it was a little, It was a bit of a choppy market. I had a short trading stream too today. I had some stuff to do, so I was only trading till about 10, but I was able to catch a few quick scalps and make a little bit of profit, having a small green day. So the DIA today, the SPY, all of them having another little pullback, but not much. It's still kind of a sideways movement. You can see right there on the daily chart. The DIA did drop below the 10, but it closed back above it. So it looks like it's going to hold up for now. If it would have closed, if it would have closed below that 10-day, I'd be like, we'll probably see that 50-day tomorrow. But it did close above it. Looks like what's going on in the market watch. Woo! It's a little bit more redder today at close than it was yesterday, though.
That's how I like to see it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Blood in the water, baby.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. It could be an interesting week. I know right now cryptos are pulling back, but they have been pretty hot and big runs there. Some of them even making new highs.
Yeah.
But what did you trade today?
Well, I stepped into Vrpx. I saw it pop in pre-market, and I was like, oh my goodness, this thing's a monster.
Yeah, you called this one early.
Yeah, so I did not immediately jump into it because of the weakness of the news.
Yeah.
But I waited for some consolidation right there on those two red candles right there. And I bought in right on that candle that you seem to have bought in as well.
This red candle here.
Yeah, that red candle right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you look like you got in there as well.
Yeah, I took two scalps on it right away. These both were pretty quick positions. Yeah. I took the first one off after it halted and it made this indecision candle. It started pushing up off the 10 adaptive, so I jumped in there 100 at 806 and sold at 836. About see where was that? Close to the top of that candle for a quick little 30-something profit there. And I jumped in on that same candle you were talking about for 50 at 843, and then sold 40 of them at 912. And I held 10 up as it was still running. And then I added 10 on this candle because it was bouncing off the 10 again like it did on that candle. So I thought we were going to get a continuation.
You added to a winning position?
Yeah, I added to it.
Oh my God.
It was testing 10. It was testing 10. So I thought it was going to break 10, or at least try to break 10, and it just couldn't break that 10. So it came back down on me. I held it way too long. I mean, I was scalping, so there's no reason I should have held it for this many candles. That first position was 5 minutes, and that second position, most of it was only 10 minutes.
When I got in on that, right before that first green candle exploded, I saw it was taking forever to explode. Like the movement up was so jumpy, and I was like, "Ooh, this might be weakness." And so I was holding. I took a little bit off. I was trading with a little bit smaller share size, just 25 shares. And just taking it off because it just looked so weak. And by that second green candle, I was all the way out. And then by the drop of that third green candle, I was already out watching it come down.
That tail there.
I was like, yeah.
On that second candle here, it came back up for another test of 10 and actually pushed a little bit higher. So that's why I was looking for it to continue. It started to look like it may hold up the adaptive and have a curl up, but it just gave out there. Well, so I ended up giving back some profits. But you can see right there, I made 42 on this. On
that bottoming wick there, that is a good indication that you're about to get a bull trap. You got a big run up. You got, if you look at the volume down here, if you look at your volume story, you see huge volume on one candle and then a ramp down of volume. So that was my indicator, like, yo, I need to get out of this right there on that ramp down of volume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My first entry on Vrpx was at the 840. That's where I saw it, 840 when I jumped in here.
So right here.
Yeah, right in there. So, yep, caught that little rip, held it, saw the weakness, jumped out. And I saw the volume story giving me a bad story coming. So I was like, eh.
Yeah, I didn't really notice that ramp down until you just pointed it out. But this did go on a massive run the rest of the day,
Mm-hmm.
all the way up to 22. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, the one day that I don't hold shares in a stock.
The one day that you trade a real low float.
Yeah, and I don't hold 10 shares or something to see if it runs the rest of the day.
That thing
Uh,
had 2 million in the float. This is the realest low float that you ever been in.
yeah, well, no, I've been in lower floats than that, but it is a very low float. 2 million is definitely that's down there. That's some big volatility. But there was no shelf registration like you've been
Mm-hmm.
talking about, so this thing was
Mm-hmm.
able to continue, and it's still holding up in after hours, right
Yep.
there below the 20. But if it opens up tomorrow and breaks over 20, we may see a quick pop or something. I don't know. This chart is not a lot of information.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean, we're
done with it. I'm done with this one. It's way out of my league. She's
but
too good for me.
yeah, but it's one to keep on watching. It did get a ton of volume today. Did you take any other trades?
I took some very nice green trace on ALF.
Oh, Alf, yeah, Alf coming back alive. Oh, you can see it.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a perfect downtrend break.
Well, they
Trend
had a
reversal on the
PR.
daily.
They had a PR to drop in the middle of the day. So that dip is where I got in and started trading upwards.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it's a nice push too. That was 9 up to 11. A little slower move, but still a decent
Mm-hmm.
move. But yeah, this one could be one to keep on watch though. Now that it's broken back above all the EMAs for the first time since. Well, this is the first time it's broken back above the EMAs and closed strong since the big run up. So got a little resistance at 12. So 12 may be a place to look for profit at. But yeah, this could start running again, especially with some good news on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it had better
Yeah,
news than
VRPX.
VRPX.
Yeah, VRPX's news was not that good. It was like all right, but it was like,
You know what made the decision, right?
what's that?
The low float,
Oh
two
yeah,
million. What?
yeah, yeah.
Everybody jumping in.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I was thinking too. The news didn't really matter as much as that float was so low, people, and nothing else was really moving, so everybody just kind of jumped in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did take another scalp on Annie. I got filled a little high on this candle. It was pushing up, like it started popping up there, and then it had that little pullback on that wick. So I jumped in about 437 as it was pushing back up. And then on this next candle, it just got that hangman candle there. Whoops.
Mm-hmm. The same bullish signal as the VRPX. You remember that bottoming tail, that bull trap?
Yeah.
Look at the volume. Look at the volume story.
Yep.
Exact same.
Yep. Decline in volume. Yep, you're right. But also that 200 day was there. That's what held it up right there. So it
Yeah.
dropped down 7 cents and I got out. So I took a little $7 loss on that 100 shares for that scalp. So it brought me down to 35 on the day. So not too bad. A little green day, kind of a mental win today. That's what I like to call these little win days. They're
Mm.
good for your mental, to get you back in the saddle when you've had a couple of rough days and start nailing some trades. If you nail some quick scalps, gain a little confidence back in your trading. That's what you got to do. Got to get back on that saddle. Is that all you traded? That was it for you?
Yes, I took a lot of little scalps, but they all just accumulated. I didn't really have a lot of time left because I was still up there handling business. I was just looking, taking a trade, getting out of the trade, going to do some work, taking another trade, literally just looking at the dips.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, whatever works. Now, the top gainer list and the NYSE list look better than they have in a while. VRPX up 265%, but on the NASDAQ list, there was not any other ones up that high. 40% on ALF on the NYSE. So it does look like some volume came back into the small caps today, the low floats. Will that continue into tomorrow? Maybe. People might get excited because of VRPX's big run. But you never know. We can come back in tomorrow and the market just look like this.
Yeah, I'll be scared tomorrow because all it's going to be is a bunch of revenge trading. And
Hmm.
because people lost today on VRPX.
Oh yeah, I'm
And,
sure,
you
especially
know,
after that first dip right there.
yeah. So I would definitely be wary of revenge trading and just stick to if VRPX does start popping again. I mean, if you have the capital to play with it, but those ranges are going to start getting a lot more wide.
Yeah.
And yeah, so be careful.
Yeah, I'm looking right now down the NASDAQ list. I'm not seeing anything too interesting on there. Like I said, ALF might be a possible play. This is a low float new IPO. It is bullish above all EMAs. It almost looks like a wedge too on the daily chart. It could be one to keep an eye on. That's hard to say because it's an IPO. It's only been out for 3 days. It's just extremely low float, and I don't know what Dat Chat Inc. is. Yeah.
I'm looking through, and I just don't see anything that would be just a super turnoff. 9.3 million in the floats. You know what? Maybe VRPX just pulled all the attention away from everything, because that's what happened with the ALF as well. It was a low float and had a lot of good news on it, but the attention was already on VRPX.
Yeah, you could be right. I mean, that's what it seemed like when I was in VRPX that whole time. It was like nothing else was going on. I kept looking around and just nothing was moving besides VRPX. I'm gonna add it to my watch list, but that's the only other thing I see.
If it doesn't touch my scanner, I won't see it.
I'm just gonna put it on there just in case, because it is making this little wedge formation on the daily.
And it is a cheaper stock, so I can definitely drop like, nice size on there. Get 5 cents and be good for the day, right?
Yeah. Break at $4. If it breaks $4, it could easily push up to 5. So we'll be back tomorrow morning for some more live stream trading on both channels. How you gonna be ready for the 8 a.m. morning show?
Yep. And tomorrow I'll be trading way longer because I won't have to actually leave. I can just work while I'm streaming, so that will work out perfect.
Excellent. So we'll see you guys 8 o'clock in the morning. In either stream, we'll both be talking it out, trying to find some more plays like VRPX this morning. Appreciate everybody joining us as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.